Hello all, welcome to NetBook and welcome back to Mulesoft tutorials. Today I'm planning to talk about how we can integrate with a Salesforce using the Mulesoft. When I say integrating with a Salesforce, I'm going to create one Salesforce object details in a Salesforce, like a customer or order, sales, such kind of a details we are going to create it in a Salesforce using the Mulesoft. First of all, you need to understand what is a Salesforce. Then I will talk about it, what it does, then how we can integrate with the Salesforce in a MuleSoft. That is what we are going to discuss. Salesforce is something which provides the services to the customers. We call as CRM application, customer relationship management application. It's provide the customer services, market analysis, it analyzes and application development and it generates reports, such kind of things it does in a Salesforce. The Salesforce main services are like cases, task management, and issue management. It's also provide the customer to track their cases, whatever they raised it, or whatever the task they have created, that it will give. Other than that, it provides the proper reports and it generates some events, that is alerts, and it will help us accessing the customers details so that it provides the services to the customer. The common use cases for using the Salesforce connector, like whenever you want to integrate with the Salesforce using the MuleSoft, we are going to use the Salesforce connector. Some of the use cases are like ERP integration. It is going to give you sales team accessing the all relevant customer data from one system. It will be syncing the daily basis from between your Salesforce system to ERP systems or some other financial applications like SAP or NetSuite, such kind of application. Uh, SAP and NetSuite, these are ERP systems. Data integration or aggregation, it will collect the data from multiple sources like from the different CRM applications, ERP applications or databases, and it will store it in a one place, that is in our Salesforce, and it will help us to generate reports on that. Legacy modernization. Imagine your organization has acquired some other companies, that data, as well as if we are organization maintaining some old data, that data will be, you know, monitorized or modernized. That means we are going to automate and migrate that data from your old legacy systems to latest versions or maybe latest data. Deliver the consistency connected customer experience. So it's going to integrate with the different applications like a sales service now, Marketo, and another applications, and it will help us to maintain a consistent way of maintaining the data, and it will help us to give the customer satisfaction more when using the Salesforce for the customer relationship management. So for integrating with the Salesforce, first of all, we need to add a Salesforce dependency and we need to create a global configuration for the Salesforce, and we need to drag and drop the create component, and we need to configure the create component with object details. If it is required, mapping the request and response we need. First of all, I signed up for the Salesforce developer account over here. If you don't have one, you can create one over here. Try free, and you can try to create one free account over here. I have already created one account, so I'm just going to log in over here, login.salesforce.com, and over here you can see I have a different objects and all. I'm going to create a sales over here, sales object details, Over here you can see different things: lead, opportunity, account, contacts. Like this, we have something called sales. Currently, if you see that I don't have any sales over here, I want to create one sales order over here. Okay, but not through Salesforce account, through the not Salesforce, through the Mulesoft integration. So for that, let me log in. Let me start over here in a Mulesoft. I'm going to create a new Mule project. I'm going to give as sys Salesforce API. I'm going to give sys Salesforce API and click on finish. The first step is we need to add a Salesforce dependency, add module, Salesforce, drag and drop the connector over here. And you can see lot of components are available over here, which we can use for integrating with the Salesforce. Like upsert, if you want to update anything, if you want to search anything, like this, many things are there over here. I will be showing lot of things later. Today I'm going to show only the creating one object in a Salesforce. This is the first step, the adding the dependency. The second step is go to the global element, create Salesforce configuration. Over here, you can select different ways of authenticating mechanism. When you are working in the real time, it will be provided by the Salesforce team what mechanism you need to use to connect with the Salesforce. And they will be providing these details. Like in case of if they say what to you need to use for connecting with the Salesforce, you need to select this and they will be providing the consumer key, consumer secret, and the scope, the details you need to put it back over here. So I'm going to use basic authentication over here where I will be providing username, password, and some security token. So I'm going to go to the Salesforce. If you see that when I log in, I have one user over here, right? Let me go to my user personal information, and this is my username. I'm going to provide the username over here. And the password, I'm going to enter my password, and I need to provide the security token. The security token will be getting whenever you signed up. If you forget the security token, reset my security token, and you can click on reset security token. It will come as a email. And if you have provided these three details correctly, and if you see the test connection, the connection will get success if it is provided all correct information over here. Now you can see that test connection successful. That means I have provided my details correctly over here, username, password, security token. You don't need to change anything over here, authorization URL. Click on OK and save it. This is the second step we need to make. The third step is we want to drag and drop, create connector or component to the flow over here. In the flow, make sure that you select connector configuration over here, and we need to select the type over here from the drop down. From the drop down, what we want to create? We want to create a sales data into the Salesforce, right? So I need to select from the drop down the sales over here. So let me go to that, and maybe if you want to type sales, you can see that over here sales is coming over here. I just selected sales over here and leave it as payload over here and click on save. And again, you can see that sales, that is the object selected, the type, and payload is selected. Now, what I want to do is, it is very simple. If you want to see the data, what data we need to pass and all, I'm going to use transform message over here, automatically these fields will be populated. Record ID, owner ID is deleted, name, created date, and automatically it will be taken. Created date, created by also will be taken. Last modified. So I want region, I want country, I want item type, um, I want sales channel, order priority, the date, order ID C, unit sold, unit price. These fields I want to populate. So I just double click, automatically it will generate. What I want to do is I want to send this data through the postman. Now, just for collecting this information, I use transform message. Once I collect this information, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this in a postman. Control C this one, and in the in the postman, I'm going to submit a request, right? So I'm going to use over here new request. Over here, let me put it in a body. I will explain about later this one. JSON. This is the data which I want to send it. So once I collect this, I don't want any more this one, transform message, leave it. And once the object is created in a Salesforce, it will generate a Java object as a response. If you want to convert that into JSON, I'm going to use a transform message over here to convert the data into JSON. I'm going to use JSON payload. Now, as I said, to submit this data through the HTTP URL, I need to have some source over here, the event generator. That is, I'm going to use a HTTP listener over here. I'm going to keep the all the connector configuration same as it is default. I'm going to say /sales. So now the transform message we don't need between these two, because if I'm going to send the data through the HTTP over here and it will generate a event, the same payload will go over here and it will create a sales details in a Salesforce. And after that it is going to convert into the JSON format, whatever the response it comes, this is going to return some IDs and all. And in case of any data exists already, it will give an error also. That simple it is. I hope this is clear. Let me test it. Right click, run this project. While it is deploying, let me prepare my request. This is the post method, HTTP 8081, and it is going to be the sales, and this is going to be the my postman request. So I'm going to provide these details and submit. Now we can see that the record has been created successfully. So make sure that when we are sending the data, the proper data should be there. I just put it order priority as high. It was created some issue, and ID also it will be auto generated. I think it will, you don't need to pass it. So now if I go to sales records over here and refresh it over here, I should be able to see the new data over here. ID is MacBook Pro, and country is this, created, and type is this one, and these are the details which is generated. So whatever I'm passing over here, the name is what it is going to be the ID over here in this record. Okay, so when you click on this record, you should be able to see that all the details which I have inserted is coming over here. And the created date, last modified date, and owner, everything details will come over here. So what are the steps you need to follow? First, you need to add a dependency, Salesforce dependency over here. The second step is you need to add the global configuration for the Salesforce connectivity. The third step is you need to drag and drop the create connector. The fourth step is you need to configure the type over here, what type of data you want to create. And the fifth step is you need to use transform message for converting or maybe mapping the request and response. In the request, you can take it and then you can delete also the transform message. Whatever the fields you want, you can collect it, that information the way I have collected, and you can delete it. Because of imagine this is system API, which you don't need to map it over here. Imagine if it is a process API, you need to use a transform message and transform into JSON format, whatever it is required by the create component over here. I hope this is clear. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe NetBook. See you in the next video.